Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has fled to Moscow after Syrian rebel forces have seized control of Damascus, ending his family's 50-year rule with celebrations erupting across Syria, reminiscent of the Arab Spring. Now, this is a minority rule. That's what they had here, and that's why this whole rebel uprising has taken him out relatively quickly here. Now a former Al-Qaeda commander is in charge? Is that better? I don't think so. The United States has responded by hitting about 75 ISIS sites there and others. The Israelis have come in as well, and they're wrecking shop. Trump says we need to let this all play out the way it needs to play out, but that is not what we are doing. And you know what? I'm not convinced that's what Trump would do either in this situation. Trump was very willing to flex American muscle.
Number 6.
Lipscomb. They need a patron saint. They need it to me. But the city of Lipscomb is facing a financial instability crisis. Why? Illegal gambling. Yeah, they were basically banking on their city's finances being funded by illegal gambling. And that doesn't work. So now you have a bunch of allegations. The city was profiting off of this criminally devised scheme of bingo funds. Now they've repealed that, saying you can't do this anymore. And now they got money issues. Now they have about $200,000 in city assets that are frozen because this is all a pretty bad situation. They're now struggling to meet financial obligations like payroll, etc. Yet somehow people will see this chaos, this corruption, this nonsense, and they'll go, shouldn't we have more gambling in Alabama? Maybe we should have more gambling? More gambling? Oh, good. Great idea.
Number 5.
The former cowardly caretaker junior senator from the great state of Alabama in an ill-fitting suit who looks like he just woke up and stole his shoes from a homeless person and owes his job to Richard Shelby, Doug Jones. He is now complaining about other Democrats being losers, which is pretty funny. I mean, just to be completely honest with you. But he says Joe Reed and Randy Kelly have to go. This battle in the Democratic leadership has been going on for eons, as long as I have been here. And it's always been rather hilarious because they're like, hey, look at those losers. And they'll be, yeah, but aren't you a loser? Like, yeah, but they're bigger losers. I'm like, yeah, but you're still a loser, right? And they're like, yeah, we're all losers. Okay, good. He has described the party as an unmitigated disaster, which was the way most people described his second election. But, there it is. He wants to have a change in Democratic leadership because he wants to be the Democratic leadership. I don't know. I just sit back and say, let them fight. Let them fight.
Number 4.
I thought this was an interesting story. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a little bit of a nut, a little bit of a kook, right? I think we all agree with that, but maybe sometimes you need a nut or a kook to come in and change things up. Well, before he gets in and gets approved and even has his hearings, the FDA is expected to decide whether to ban Red 3 and other petroleum-derived food dyes commonly found in candy, cereals, and snacks after receiving a petition challenging its safety. Other countries don't allow this. California doesn't allow this. It allegedly is linked to cancer and behavioral issues in children. Robert F. Kennedy has talked about banning this. And now the FDA is about to. What took so long? They say that this could change the American diet. I don't think that's the case. Getting our asses off the couch is probably going to change the American diet more than this. But this is interesting. He's not even in charge yet, and stuff like this is happening. Very interesting.
Number 3.
Some people have been calling me the patron saint of Christmas or the patron saint of Christmas in Coleman or the patron saint of Coleman. Well, listen. Coleman's Christmas market booming, despite a dishonest onslaught from AL.com and TikTok declaring it an unsafe community for minorities, without evidence, of course. The Sundown Town myth suggested the area was a town where black people are unsafe at night, but the turnout was not tempered this weekend. The crowd was diverse. In other Christmas celebration news, Prattville Pride sued the city of Prattville over the weekend to force the city to allow a drag queen float in its parade. That depressed turnout. So let me see if I understand this correctly. Traditional stuff the media hates and they seek to destroy, and the people say, no, we're still coming. Degenerate nonsense the media seeks to allow, and the people say, no, we don't want this nonsense. Got it.
Number 2.
Alabama's legendary former head coach Nick Saban reacted to Alabama's exclusion from the college football playoff in favor of Southern Methodist University, raising concerns about the impact on scheduling. And he's right, by the way, as Nick Saban usually is. He questions the benefit of playing strong non-conference opponents if strength of schedule isn't prioritized. Saban noted that Alabama's upcoming high-profile matchups with teams like Notre Dame and Ohio State should now be reconsidered given the SEC's inherent difficulty. Despite finishing 9-3, Alabama was ranked number 11 and missed the 12-team playoff due to in-conference losses and SEC competitiveness. Look, the two teams that got byes are 16-12. I mean, just think about that. The teams that got byes in this system are ranked 16 and 12. There's something wrong with the system. But I think the SEC, we could end up with 3 SEC teams in the top 4, which is probably what's going to happen. So let's calm down.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
President-elect Donald Trump's Meet the Press interview unveiled his plans and contentious priorities for his second term, focusing on justice, immigration, and the economy. He emphasized delegating Justice Department actions to appointees while advocating for strict immigration measures, including mass deportations and an end to birthright citizenship, balanced by a measured approach to addressing the needs of dreamers. Trump is softening his immigration stance. That's what this is. But maybe he has to. This is a little bit of a reality coming in here and kind of working its way into the situation. I know a lot of people don't like to see reality. Scary reality. Don't like it. Trump also defended polarizing cabinet appointments and pledged bold economic reforms like tariffs and deregulations, signaling a term marked by divisive but assertive policymaking. Well, the interviewer, NBC's Kristen Welker, seemed hell-bent on whining about 2020 and other arguments nobody cares about, like making nice with people who hate him, want him in jail, or want him dead. The tariff conversation is especially interesting to me because she's like, well, what about washing machines? And he's like, what do you know about washing machines? And she's like, nothing, because I'm stupid. And then he had to basically explain to her how the Chinese were dumping washing machines in the United States, and it was causing problems for American washing machine makers, and how the tariffs, which Biden still has in place, actually worked to protect American jobs. It was really smart. Could Kamala Harris even have this interview at any point in time? She could have. She chose not to. And now Donald Trump is going to be president of the United States. I liked what I saw yesterday. This was one of my favorite Donald Trump interviews that I think I've ever seen. I'll just be completely honest with you. I thought it was great. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good for everyone involved. So good job there by Donald Trump. We appreciate him coming out and making these policy perspectives clear. That's what I think people want to see, and I think that's what they deserve to see. And you deserve to be able to jump in here right now, right here, and it is all, of course, very simple. 866-494-WVNN, 866-494-9866. That's the scoutpestcontrol.com WVNN hot take text line. You can jump in here. You can also ask your questions for 10 with him. I know Emily's missed this part of this. She gets to ask me your questions. She's missed it significantly. That's true. So she wants you to get your questions in right now. You can also email them.
You've got mail.
Dale at WVNN.com. That's the downtownrescuemission.org email inbox. Get in here. Ask your questions. We'll get into all of this as we move forward. J-Town coming up on the program a little bit later. Yaffee, I think he went down and tried to burn down the Christmas market in Coleman, but don't worry. The patron saint of Coleman is here to protect you. He'll be with us a little bit later in the program as well. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.